We are the Women in Data Science group from Duke University. My name is Emily Rounds, and my colleagues are Natalie, Elena, and Rebecca. Our goal is to identify broadband and to increase broadband access to raise post-secondary attainment in North Carolina. We take a policy approach through data-informed decisions as policy students. Our definition of post-secondary attainment is based on IPED's graduation rates, though that definition can be refined in the future if the state chooses. In our preliminary analyses, we found that institutions in counties with better broadband access have higher graduation rates. Using this knowledge and our data analyses that you will see in the future, further in the presentation, our approach has 4 prongs. First, we want to expand the task force on connecting North Carolina. We also want to identify specific communities in need, identify delivery mechanisms, how we will help those individuals, and the affordability, who will fund it, as well as focusing on community level planning here, and we will identify those throughout the presentation. First, we recommend that Governor Cooper appoint state education agencies and economic development partners to the task force on connecting North Carolina. Georgia's Broadband Advisory Committee has done this successfully, and Georgia can serve as a model for North Carolina going forward.
And so our first pillar is identify priority communities. As of right now, we do have data sets based on broadband access and educational attainment. However, there is not one data set that combines this broadband access with post-secondary attainment. We also need to increase survey accessibility for the North Carolina Broadband Survey. And so as an example of what this complete data set could look like, is you can combine a variable such as percent Pell recipients and then disaggregate them based on counties' broadband access and quality. And this will really help us see where we need to target our interventions.
To put this plan in action, we need to consider infrastructure. This can include private partnerships, federal funding, state funding, or a combination that will fund either cloud services or physical infrastructure planning. And to accurately assess broadband need, Governor Cooper and his task force and the North Carolina departments will need to partner with agencies to map existing infrastructure and assess county level costs for new projects. For example, in this map, we can see the need for more infrastructure as approximately 26% of respondents reported not having any internet access at all.
And our third approach is regarding affordability. So we considered options such as direct cash transfers, refundable tax credits, prepaid debit cards, hotspot distribution, and direct subsidies to private internet providers on behalf of households. Right now, we do know the amount of people who are on the FCC Affordable Connectivity Program. We do know households' socioeconomic status. However, to be able to better identify affordable options, we need to know the number or percentage of households with current hotspots, and we need more data on the most efficient way to provide affordable internet to households as well. And taking this all together, our main policy recommendation is for a grant program to be established based on community plans. These community plans are county-based, and each plan should include, at the minimum, a budget, performance metrics, partnerships with institutions of higher education and private internet providers, and counties need to explain how their plans will achieve that goal of increasing post-secondary attainment through the state's minimum broadband goals. And so immediate next steps is needing to expand the task force on connecting NC. We need to collect data on educational attainment and broadband access. We need to identify high-need counties and distribute hotspots in the absence of full infrastructure. We need to define metrics to measure data literacy, and we need to include populations without internet access to North Carolina's broadband survey. In the long term, we need to measure impact metrics, and we need to form partnerships with organizations such as the Rural College Leaders Program and with private companies such as AT&T, Google, Spectrum, and Xfinity. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation. Here are our sources that we used.